Hello. This video I wanted to cover a topic that I think is important to a lot of disc golfers, and it's what a lot of players are seeking. It's the idea of some breakthroughs in your game that can really increase your performance. So for me, there have been two different types of breakthroughs that have impacted my game. The first is a form or a practice type breakthrough, one that changes the mechanics of how you play the game. And the other is a strategic or like a thought process that can also increase your game. So to start with some of the form breakthroughs that I've had, the first came after I had played for about a year or so. I changed the grip of my drives. So I moved from a control grip where I had about 3 fingers on the rim and kind of a loose grip. And I was told that, hey, you should really try a power grip. So I moved my grip around a little bit that day and immediately gained, I want to say, in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 feet on my drives. And for a beginning player, that quick addition of distance was important and helpful, and was really a big lift to my game, being able to reach some baskets that I couldn't get to before. So that's one of the first form things that I figured out that needed some work and really helped me. Beyond that, learning to throw understable discs and throwing putters quite a bit in the front yard and in open areas helped me to learn how to control the disc's nose angle to throw it nice and flat on its release and keep the disc down rather than let it go up in the air and then just kind of dump off. That was also really pivotal, as well as simply practicing putting. I know that's something that a lot of newer players need to do, but they like to focus more on driving. So again, getting used to practicing 15 to 20 foot putts, or even some shorter putts if those aren't going in consistently, but committing to practice those at a range that you can hit at a high percentage, so 80 or 90%, and then as you get more comfortable, moving back a little bit and seeing if you can hit the slightly longer range ones at 80 or 90%. That really helps when you're out on a course or at a tournament or at a league or anything like that, to know where your confidence circle is and to be able to step up and make those putts time after time. So those are pretty simple breakthroughs, but each of those things was really important to my game, to throw consistently, throw accurately, and to be able to be good at all aspects of the game, being able to get off the tee really well, approach and putt, and use all those different skills. The other, it's one that I stress a lot more when I talk to players, especially as they start to compete, is the strategic and the mental part of the game. That's one part that I'm really interested in. So some of the breakthroughs that I had there, I quickly realized after playing some tournaments that disc golf is a lot different when there's a little bit of pressure. It's always fun to go out and play with your buddies, but it's a lot different when you're playing out there and every shot is being tallied up, and it's going to affect how you place and how you stand compared to everybody else. Just a little different amount of pressure. It makes you rethink a lot of things, and sometimes it can expose weaknesses in your game. So I really enjoyed playing tournaments and figured out pretty quickly that was one of my favorite parts of the game. So some of the breakthroughs that I've had there is to, one, I think bad tournament rounds really show you what you need to practice. So don't be too discouraged if a certain skill isn't working for one tournament. You just have to work your way through it for those rounds, but then take the opportunity to not beat yourself over the head, but to put in some time practicing that skill. So if you're having trouble battling the wind, go out on a windy day and throw your discs and figure out how to manipulate that flight through the wind. Or if it's a complete skill breakdown, like you just lose your putter for that day and you're just not feeling it, go to that practice basket and find that range where you're going to be able to make things consistently, and work your way out and just find your comfort again. I think having great routines is important, and I think tournaments really show that. If you step up to a shot that you're nervous about, or there's some pressure based on scores or something like that, having a good routine that you build up through your practice is incredibly important, and helps when that pressure's on, that you can go through your couple-step process and make that shot quickly, rather than standing there and stewing about it, or stepping up to something and feeling just really uncomfortable of your footing, or rethinking, is that how I grip this disc for that shot? Having that routine and knowing the strategy of, okay, this is how this shot feels, this is how I grip the disc, this is my run up and my follow through and how everything feels, helps you to execute it when you're under pressure, and you're maybe sweating a little bit and trying to complete that important round. Also strategically, I've learned that I tend to play really conservative in tournaments, and it actually tends to favors me really well. So in normal casual rounds, I let shots fly without a whole lot of thought. If I see a gap, I just kind of go after it and don't worry about it too much. But in tournaments, I make a point to stay in the fairway, to make the smarter shot. Instead of going for the 1.5 foot gap over here, I probably shoot for the 5 foot gap over here that can get me to the same spot, even if it's a little less direct. Finding the bigger gaps, and if you really shank a shot or take a bad kick off into the woods, pitching back to the fairway instead of trying to make it all up or be a hero. That's saved me some strokes, because there have been a few times where I go for the big comeback shot and I end up taking a 6 or a 7 or something really terrible like that. When really, if I would have been willing just to pitch back into the fairway, I would have had a chance to get a 4 or even scramble for a long 3, instead of trying to run at the basket any chance you get. So those are some of the breakthroughs that I've had after playing tournaments for several years, and those have served me really well. I'm always curious to hear what are some things that have helped you out a lot, that have been breakthroughs in your game. I'm always interested to hear from you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.